Welcome to Edmonton, Alberta. We're actually in Leduc today. This is the Game 7 of the National Ringette League Hub, taking place at the Wood Tournament. We have a great game for you this morning. It is a rematch from a game last night. We have Saskatchewan Heat versus Edmonton Rush. These teams played to a close game last night, with Heat winning 5-4. Just on. We're seeing some warm-ups here between, so you've got Saskatchewan wearing the white jerseys, and Rush is wearing their dark gray. The Feature Hub is available. We're watching either on All Women's Sports Network on Pluto TV, or CBC Sports YouTube, or Ringette Canada's YouTube. The West standings, as you can see them, we have Saskatchewan Heat, who is 3-4, although I think that's changed since yesterday, and Edmonton Rush is 0-4. So Edmonton Rush, as we've seen in the previous games, they're quite a new team. They've got a lot of rookies. They only have 2 returning players from last year. So we do expect to see a good improvement throughout the season from them. Saskatchewan has a good mix. They've got some young players coming up, and they've really improved in the last few years. So one of the players to watch for the Edmonton Rush is number 44, Addison Herbert. She is a first-year open player. She's from Edmonton. She played for St. Albert 19AA last year. She's a quick player and solid, steady presence on defense. Did a lot of good support passes and has quick acceleration coming out of the zone. On Team Saskatchewan, we are looking at number 2, Lauren Schoenhofen, member of the junior national team that just came back from Finland. She did play a year in Calgary, but she is from Saskatchewan, and it'll be nice to see what she can do. She plays center, so she'll be in all zones today. So the game today will be played in 4 quarters. They'll play 4 13-minute quarters. There will be a flood at halftime. Ringette is a pretty quick-paced game. You have to pass over the blue line, so it makes sure that this is really a team game. There's no end-to-end rushes, and players really have to be able to move the ring quickly. You're going to see a couple of team cheers here in the huddle, a couple last words, and then they're going to pick up the rings, and they're going to get set to go. Looks like we've got starting goaltenders for Rush, Caitlin Harrington. And for Saskatchewan, we're going to have Holly Cozen, number 1. Saskatchewan is going to get the opening free pass. We're ready to go. So this is the 3rd game for each of these teams this weekend, and Saskatchewan has 1 more later today. These hub weekends are a lot of games for these players. So we have Albert over to Scar. Scar is going to look for a player deep in the zone there, and you just saw Herbert with a good challenge on defense for Rush. Carter has the ring. Oh, and a good low post pass doesn't quite connect. Harrington with the goalie ring. Bamber gets it up, and Kilpatrick does a good job waiting for that ring to come over the blue line, but gets checked from behind by Madison Ryan. Carter back in with the ring, and a good defensive play by Amy Bamber to break that up. And we've got Shanehofen there leaving the ring for Benson. One of the things that's been a theme that any young Ringette players can look for is all the offensive zone controlled line changes that happen. Oh, and a good toe save by Harrington. Rebound comes out. Bellin can't quite get it. There's a crease violation, and it's going to be a goalie ring for Harrington. Lays the ring out for Herbert. Herbert gets the ring up quickly. Gunther is able to win the ring in the neutral zone. Finds Derienka over the blue line. Derienka's going to come in wide. Take a look and see what's going on. Come toward the net. Oh, tried to rip a shot, but it was blocked by the defense. Bluin recovers the ring. They've got 5 seconds on that clock and gets a reset. Kozin with the save. Kozin finds Voikin behind the net. Voikin comes out, and a good back check there, good forecheck by Bluin to win the ring, and Gunther's up with the ring just outside the ringette line. So with a fresh clock again, you'll see Rush making an offensive zone line change. Gunther with the pass to Bluin. Bluin trying to get rid of it and has drawn a penalty. Saskatchewan is going to get a penalty. But right now, the shot clock gets reset for that delayed penalty. And the Rush can have 4 in that zone. So that line across the top of the circles can usually only have a 3-on-3, but when you pull your goalie or when there's a penalty, you can put that 4th player in. So Bluin taking her time across the top and a very aggressive triangle from Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan will touch the ring, and we're going to get a slashing penalty.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching these two teams play against each other. They're both going to play, I would expect, a really aggressive style. There's a lot of speed. There's a lot of youthful exuberance between these two teams. So I think they're a great matchup for one another. I'm excited to see the game.
So that's a slashing penalty to Saskatchewan. We have Sydney George playing again today as an affiliate. A pick attempt there, doesn't quite go through. And I think we're going to see another penalty to Saskatchewan. So Scar is going to get a cross-checking penalty.
So we're going to see now a 3-on-2, which means they can only have 2 players in the defensive zone. It's a huge offensive opportunity for Black Gold Rush, so let's see how they set up.
Okay, so it's George at the top. Tries to get the pass to Derienka, but it's blocked by McCaw, who gets it out. But getting it back in was Belle Burrows. Kilpatrick along the boards. Again, very, very aggressive defense there by Saskatchewan trying to slow them down. Kilpatrick has it on the post. Up to Sydney George. Down to Kilpatrick. Across to Derienka, who can't quite find the handle. And it's picked up by McCaw. McCaw's able to get it into the neutral zone to Shanehofen. Shanehofen's just going to put it deep in the zone and pursue. So trying to pursue the ring just to kill some time there. Kilpatrick is up with the ring, so there's lots of open space here for this team. Burrows up there to Derienka. So we've got Albert and Voikin on defense there. And Derienka tries to get that sharp angle shot, gets the reset, and they're going to set up some more. There's still 36 seconds in this 3-on-2 in the zone. Sydney George to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick with a quick shot. Hit the post, so that's a reset. George is here waiting to draw the defense over to see what can be done. Down to Derienka, can't quite get it. Kilpatrick up at the front, managed to get the pass through the defense. George gets it, gets a shot off, and you can see those players standing on the line. They can't go in. It looks like they should just be able to go get the ring, but they are not allowed. They would be in a restricted area. Sydney George up with it, trying to get it to Kilpatrick out front. Bamber steps up to get that ring into the zone. And that first penalty is out, so now you can see there's 3 in the zone for Saskatchewan. Derienka with a spin move and a backhand shot that Kozin handles. Kozin out, and I believe Derienka is going to get a hooking penalty there. Just dug in a little too hard.
Rush had some nice looks at the net there. Some shots from the top, some shots from the side, and you can see how the Heat set up defensively. They set up in a side-by-side formation. There's a couple of different ways you can play a 3-on-2, so it was interesting to see how that played out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and Heat had the offensive zone free pass, but now we have Brooklyn Baumke up with it. We're going to have another slashing penalty to Saskatchewan. I think this is going to go against Schoenhofen. Apologize, that's a penalty to Carter. And so now we've got some 4-on-4 time for 1:45. So all this really means is that there's going to be a defensive player for Rush who goes into the offensive zone. Brooklyn Baumke has the ring. Going to circle wide, leave the ring there for Lieber, who's the defense jumping in, and a good save by Cozen. Cozen gets the ring out quickly. And I think that's McCaw with the ring, getting off the boards, trying to find some space. Finds McRae in the neutral zone. McRae looking up and is going to find Ryan in the corner. Oh, Lieber beat her to the ring, so a good job tracking that play by Lieber. Over the line to Conrad. It was bobble. It was the ring wasn't flat, so it's hard to catch. Ryan gets it again in the offensive zone, just over the blue line. Going to take some time. Leaves the ring for McRae. Getting a bit of a line change. McRae tried to find a support pass, but it wasn't quite where they expected. Coming out of the zone now, it's Forster. Up to Baumke. Baumke's going to find Kilpatrick just over the blue line. Saskatchewan doing a good job there to keep Kilpatrick out of the play. Kilpatrick tried for the backhand, didn't hit the net, so there's no reset. So there's going to be a shot clock violation to Rush. Scar into the neutral zone for Ryan. Ryan with a good return pass to Scar. So a lot of give and goes that you're going to see in this Ringette game. So that was the defense up to a forward in the neutral zone, who then the defense rushed up.
Can't get enough Ringette. We'll be back on January 10th and 11th in Burlington, Ontario, and January 17th and 18th in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
All right, as we pick up play, the penalty to Rush is over. So Dariank is out of the box, and we're going to have Carter out of the box in about 5 seconds. Good save by Harrington, who's going to find Baumke. Baumke is going to come off the boards, find a pass wide to Gunther. Herbert's jumping up the ice. Going to jump into that offensive zone. And a good shot attempt, misses wide. But it is picked up by Bluin. There's 10 seconds left on that shot clock. You'll start to hear the goalie at the other end of the ice tapping their stick to let them know. Gunther does get a shot on, and Cozen handles it easily. Voikin with a back pass, a support pass behind the net to the defensive partner, Stangel. Schoenhofen along the boards, covered by Gunther. Schoenhofen finds a pass into the middle there for Belland. Belland falls down, gets up. And a tricky hop there that almost went in, but Harrington's able to keep it out of the net.
So you can see right now when Saskatchewan is breaking it out of their zone, the Rush is doing a man-on forecheck. So you can see they're sort of stifling that transition. It's a tough system to play, but it can be effective if you can keep pace with the other team.
Yeah, mentally it's relatively easy. You only have one job. There's no ifs, ands. But to actually do it is hard. So I think we're getting a penalty here to Saskatchewan. going to go, it's a 4-minute. That's a major for body. So I believe that major is called because the contact did come from behind. It doesn't necessarily mean that the hit is a harder hit to be 4 minutes, but it means it was from behind. And this is fully served, so even if the Rush score goals here, nobody's getting out of the penalty box. Derienka cycling in, drawing players and then dropping it back to Sydney George. Sydney George coming in for a shot and a good save by Kozin. Kozin will move it out of the crease quickly with her stick. Saskatchewan here with the ring. It's Albert looking for an outlet in the neutral zone, makes a good support pass to Scar, who was coming back. And Scar finding Albert again in that neutral zone. Good 2-on forecheck there now. Since there's a penalty to Saskatchewan, Rush is going 2-on. Sydney George coming into the offensive zone to Derienka. Derienka trying to let that shot loose, but good check there by Benson in the triangle. Kilpatrick is going to come around, make a spin move. Good defense by the Saskatchewan triangle. There's about 15 seconds on the shot clock. Almost a minute, or just over a minute gone in that 4-minute penalty. Nola Conrad with a good step out in front and a good save by Kozin. And we're going to see another penalty to Saskatchewan, so it's going to be another extended 3-on-2. So that's 19 Albert getting a body penalty. So there's 2 minutes and 42 seconds left on that first penalty that will be fully served. And there's 2 minutes now to Albert. So we're going to see a little bit more of the 3-on-2, see if they do a different setup. We've got George, Derienka, and Kilpatrick out there. They're going to try and overload that one side, I think. Back up to George. George looking for Derienka on the corner, and a good stick there. And a good shot up top. And there's a crease violation against Rush. And you'll see that Kozin comes out of the crease to pick up that ring because the refs can't start the play until the goalie is in the crease with the ring, so it buys a second to make sure. And that pass didn't quite go through. Lieber did pick it up in the neutral zone, but was slowed down, and so it's going to be Saskatchewan ring in the neutral zone.
So Saskatchewan here is going to work really hard to try to make a good possession pass so that they can gain the zone and hopefully kill off a little bit of time on this 3-on-2. So we'll see if they can find that seam, and they do.
Yeah, I expected them to have their forward Ryan there go out deep and try and kill as much time as possible. So that is the goal, is to spread out that ice. So Ryan here, I expect her to just skate for as long as possible. She has checked. It was about a 3-on-1, so bad odds. McTaggart up to Derienka. And again, there's still a minute and 8 seconds in the 5-on-3. We've got Voikin and Scar out on the ice defensively for Saskatchewan. And a nice back pass to Kilpatrick and a really good save by Kozin. And a crease violation against Saskatchewan. A lot of whistles in Ringette for going into places that you're not allowed to go. We've got a new power play unit here for Rush. We've got Gunther with bomb key, and Derienka stays out there as that right-handed shot on the low post there. Tries a shot, and it's a block by Voikin, and Scar's going to come away with it. And a good battle on the boards. And it was a both sides call, a delayed both sides call, I think, on Forster. Touched it in the neutral zone, and then it was picked up by Rush. So that's going to be a free pass for Saskatchewan.
So same thing here. You're going to see if Saskatchewan can try to find some ice and gain a possession pass. Really good communication from the defense over there, pointing where she was going to go.
So one of the things here is even though Saskatchewan has 2 penalties, they can still put all 3 players in the offensive zone. It's just the defensive zone that someone has to stay out. Yeah, there's 26 seconds left on this 3-on-2. So Baumke has the ring and puts it up to Derienka. Derienka's going to find Baumke over the boards. And that was a little bit too aggressive, I think, from Carter, who's going to head to the box. Usually have to be extra careful when your team has one penalty to make sure you're not getting another one. So a little bit of a challenge here.
So this is another opportunity for Rush because there are 3 in the box. There's going to be a 3-on-2 until a whistle is blown till they can release that extra player from the box, unless 2 of them have fully expired.
Yes. So it's a 3-on-2 in that player. So there's 3 seconds left in this first penalty, but they're not going to get out of the box until a whistle. But it's still a 3-on-2 for another 40 seconds until that 4-minute penalty expires. So Derienka on top with a back pass. It's intercepted by Stangel and can't find a pass, so just kills some time. Rush now has to start all the way out of their own zone. So 24 seconds left on that 5-on-3. And Stangel is able to step in front of Bluin to win that ring, but falls down. So Kilpatrick is up with the ring to Gunther. 15 seconds on this 5-on-3. Bluin leaves the ring there. Gunther leaves it for Bluin. Bluin's going to look for the shot, and Kozin has the save. Kozin out to Stang. I think that's Stangel. Oh, it's Scar. Scar over to Stangel. And Saskatchewan now has 1 player out of the box because 2 of the penalties expired. So it is a 5-on-4 right now. There's a minute left in their other penalty. Bluin with the ring in the neutral zone to Gunther over the line. Gunther's looking for a shot, finds it, but a great save by Kozin. The rebound comes out front, and Rush is able to get it, but Saskatchewan was able to slow them down.
Really great job by Saskatchewan defensively, and you can see they're making some really good reads. Rush seems to be looking for that low post on the right-hand side, and they're getting sticks on those rings, so well done by Saskatchewan.
A good wide pass here into the neutral zone to Stangel. Back to Voikin. Voikin shakes off the defenders. 30 seconds left in this penalty. There's also 30 seconds left in the first quarter in a scoreless game. Benson comes around and whips a low shot on the ice that Harrington sets to the corner. Voikin taking some time again, probably looking to just end the period on a good note. Good checking by Lieber there on Belland. And that's the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless. A lot of penalties. I think these teams, this is their 3rd game of the weekend. Maybe a little bit of tired legs. But we're 0-0, and that's Edmonton Rush in the dark jerseys and Saskatchewan Heat in the white jerseys. Some good saves, a good toe save there you see from Harrington. And then you see those players, they have to wait outside the crease. They can't go into that goal crease, so that's why they're standing there. It looks like they're just staring at the ring. They're not allowed in. Good drive to the net by Sydney George there to draw a penalty. A lot of 3-on-2 times. This was really a clinic put on by those Saskatchewan defenders with their, what we call a tandem or a butt-to-butt sort of defense style. So I think this is the tight game we expected coming into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're seeing a lot of pace to the game, and I wonder now if as the game goes on, as they settle in, if we're going to see a little more execution.
Yeah, I hope so, and maybe a little more control. The refs are calling a tight game, so these players are going to have to do a good job keeping their feet moving to stay out of the box. And the second quarter is underway. Forster over to Burrows. Finds Derienka in the zone. A low pass down to Conrad. And Saskatchewan is back to full strength now, so they've killed off all of those penalties. Chetelborough hard across the top with a good back pass to Conrad. Got a shot off and a great save by Kozin. Saskatchewan up the middle. Linklater finds Standish deep in the zone. Standish is going to take some time, circle around. Conrad with a good effort there. Harrington's going to steer the ring behind the net, which does reset the clock as possession for Rush. The ring will come out of the zone, but Linklater is able to keep the ring. And a good shot and a good save by Harrington. Saskatchewan controlling the ring. It's Benson coming across the top, finds Linklater on the low post. Tried to get a shot off. A good play defensively by Forster, who forces the crease violation. Harrington gets the ring out to Forster, who circles back, trying to gain that middle zone advantage. Puts the ring off the boards up to defensive partner Bell Burrows. Burrows is going to look for a teammate deep in the zone, and Brooklyn Baumke's able to recover it. There's only 7 seconds left on the shot clock, though, so Baumke's going to look for a shot. Gets it, handled by Kozin. Voikin coming up to McRae, couldn't handle it. Amy Bamber, one of Rush's captains, picks up that ring. Circles back, looking to find some space there. Finds Macy Seren in the neutral zone. Seren trying to get the ring deep in the zone, but it's picked off by Saskatchewan, and Ryan has it coming out. Makes a move around Seren, a nice little head fake there. Benson has it up to Voikin. I think we're gonna have a penalty here to Addison Herbert. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, there's a penalty to Addison Herbert. 2-minute penalty for body. And the reason the ring's going back to Saskatchewan, even though Saskatchewan touched it and it was blown down for a crease violation, is the penalty caused the crease violation. So that player wouldn't have gone into the crease if it weren't for the penalty. So Saskatchewan gets to keep the ring. And it's Voikin coming across the top there. Oh, it's Carter. And Carter's drawn a penalty. And Rush here is trying not to play the ring because as soon as they touch it, it's a penalty, and they're trying to have less of a 3-on-2. So now the tables have turned, so to speak, and it's going to be Saskatchewan with a 3-on-2.
So we might see a different defensive setup for Rush here. Quite often this team plays a system called the I, where one is sort of stays high and one sort of stays low as opposed to side to side. We'll see what they do.
We've got Forster and Bamber.
Oh, we're seeing side to side.
Yeah. Good shot there from Schoenhofen that's handled by Harrington. Low post pass to Ryan, and what a goal. Great finish on the corner there.
Really nice release.
Yeah, good quick pass. We saw that's 11 seconds it took for them to get that play through. Yeah, Schoenhofen with a good quick pass, and Ryan with the quick hands. So there's still 1:49 on the second penalty to Rush. So you see Saskatchewan marking up from this free pass. Burrows tried to find a defensive partner but couldn't. Looked for Derienka, and it's picked off. So Saskatchewan breaking out with numbers here. We've got Standish in the neutral zone trying to find a pass. Going to find Schoenhofen deep in the corner. Schoenhofen picks up a tough pass, that pass off the boards, but stripped of the ring by Burrows, who makes a risky support pass there to Forster, who is able to come up with it. Forster finds Burrows in the neutral zone. Burrows gets around Schoenhofen, finds Derienka over the blue line. Derienka coming in. She's got a big shot, probably looking to use it, and a nice backhand at a sharp angle that hits the crossbar and gets a reset. Saskatchewan coming out. It's Schoenhofen here to, I think that's McCaw in the offensive zone. Gives the ring to Benson. Oh, Benson trying to get a shot through a screen, and it's blocked. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Linklater's got the ring behind the net. 5 seconds on that shot clock. Looking for McRae. Finds McRae. Couldn't quite handle it. There's going to be a shot clock violation to Saskatchewan. Harrington with a quick up to Baumke, who finds Chettleborough on the boards. Chettleborough trying to get the ring to Baumke, who was behind the defender but couldn't quite handle it. So good defense by Saskatchewan there to slow them down. And a loose ring there that's picked up by Lieber. Lieber had a couple players, was looking for Conrad in the neutral zone, but picked off by Albert. Ryan into the offensive zone to McRae. McRae fighting for that ring. Linklater's going to come and help out. Slow it down. Going to get another one of those controlled offensive zone line changes. He's going to leave it for Carter coming in. Carter with a good backhand shot and a save by Harrington, but a fresh clock for Saskatchewan. So sometimes those shots are taken from tough angles because they're looking for that reset to get a full 30 seconds. There's a good drive in there. And picked up. We have Sydney George in the neutral zone, leaves it for Amy Bamber. Then Sydney George, again, another good give and go with that support to the players. Over to Kilpatrick. So the penalty is done. Rush is at full strength. Sydney George does get a tough angle shot on that Cozen handles, and Saskatchewan is up. It's Benson with the ring, looking for Stengel. Stengel into the offensive zone, looking to get to the net, but it's a 1-on-3, so good defense from Rush. Belland is coming around and is going to take a turn as they get some fresh legs on the ice. Oh, and the ring came all the way through 2 players. I think Benson didn't expect it to come through. And Harrington there avoids playing the ring so that they don't get the reset. And same Amy Bamber also avoided playing that ring. A bit of a tangle up there. I think Herbert ended up falling into the crease, so it's a crease violation, and it is Saskatchewan ring. So Bellin to Standish. You can see it looks like maybe they're taking their time and not going very quickly, but they're trying to create a speed advantage. So a good play up there. Benson misses wide. A good defensive step by Bell Burrows. Ring comes up to Gunther. And it's going to be a goalie ring. So it's what we call an immovable ring, or move it or lose it. Which just means the team that has the ring going into it is responsible for moving the ring. And we see this quick up to Forster. Forster, who's looking for Bluin in the neutral zone, can't quite get it. Standish has the ring for Saskatchewan. Into the offensive zone. And a good play by McCaw and a good save by Harrington, but there was a crease violation from Rush, so it's going to be a Saskatchewan ring.
Rush is looking for the quick up out of the zone, and they're often looking to their high forward, which can create nice transitions. Saskatchewan is playing that player really tight in the neutral zone, and they're disrupting a lot of plays. So we'll see if Rush makes any adjustments to their transition.
Yeah, and it's always tough to pick up that pass head on. So it's a tough job for that forward too. Conrad isn't quite able to get it, but the Heat player fell, and it's deep into the zone now for Becca Chettleborough. Chettleborough's coming around. Trying to drive across the top, and that center for Saskatchewan doing a good job. Just got to keep feet moving so you don't take that penalty, which they did there. So it's Ryan up to Linklater. Back to Ryan. Ryan's going to race Amy Bamber for it. And I think that was an immovable ring call, and they're saying that Rush had it first and then Bamber couldn't move it, so it's going to be a Saskatchewan ring.
I thought that was excellent engagement from Bamber over the second line, but still maintaining that good goal side inside positioning, but not making it easy for them to gain that second line.
Yeah, and I think in the first quarter we might have seen Bamber take a penalty on that, but it was a little more restrained.
Yeah.
a little more better body positioning to avoid that penalty. So Belland coming across the top. He's going to find Shane Hofen with a good sharp angle shot that's handled by Harrington, and Herbert almost kicking it into the net, trying to get it back to the goalie. And Bamber taking some time, getting the ring across to Seren. Seren looking for Kilpatrick in the offensive zone. It was a good step up by Shane Hofen, but Kilpatrick is able to get the ring, and really good defensive play there by Shane Hofen. Cozen to Scar. Scar is going to find Linklater. And again, looking for that give and go. Belland is going to retrieve the ring behind the net, challenged by Forster. Looking for Benson across the top. Saskatchewan getting a line change in. Stangel in the offensive zone. Good shot on the ice, handled by Harrington. And Harrington couldn't get rid of the ring fast enough, so it's going to be a 5-count violation.
I'm noticing with both of these teams at different times, especially when they're having trouble with the transition, is they're quiet. They're quiet. So sometimes they're open and they need to talk to each other and really let them know that, hey, I'm here and I want that ring.
Yeah. Benson with the free pass. Gets it back, and good shot across the body there, but just wide. And rushes up with it. It's Burrows. Again, looking for Bluin in the neutral zone. It's disrupted by Voikin, but Burrows doing a good job following the pass. We'll get it deep to Derienka. Really good job spreading out the ice. Derienka leaves it for Bluin. Gunther was setting up a pick, but Bluin was unable to use it. Bluin's going to come around, make a nice back pass to Gunther. Not quite where they wanted to make that pass, but it got through. Gunther trying to make that pass through the legs to Derienka. It's blocked, but there is a crease violation on Saskatchewan.
I've seen Rush set a few low picks. I think they're just looking for the person with the ring coming downwards with that speed and that momentum to try to low walk it along the crease. So they've tried to do it a couple times and let something that they seem to be trying to execute.
We'll see if they can, because it's nice to get to explain a legal pick. Conrad with the ring coming around the net. And you can see the player following. There's another pick attempt. There's going to be a reset. There is a penalty coming to Saskatchewan. And Chettleborough has the ring. And they've got their 4 in with that delayed penalty. They don't have to pull their goalie to get that 4th player in the zone. And Saskatchewan's going to touch the ring, and it's going to be, oh, I saw 2 motions there, so I don't know if she's getting 2 penalties over here.
So Rush might not be getting the offensive opportunities they're wanting from the picks, but this is actually the second time where it's resulted in them drawing a penalty off of the play because the defense is trying to get back into the play. So it's doing something for them.
Yeah, they are making the defense work for it. So this player is getting a cross-checking penalty and a body penalty. So it's 2 separate 2-minute penalties for Madison Ryan. So in this case, if a goal is scored during the first 2 minutes, then that comes down to a single 2 minutes. So this is not a fully served penalty. Rush with a good back pass to Kilpatrick, and the save made by Cozen. Scar makes a good pass across up to Shane Hofen. Shane Hofen, a member of the junior national team in Finland. So she's definitely a dynamic player to watch. Gets the ring back over to, and it's a movable ring, and they're saying that Saskatchewan was the one who had the responsibility of moving it and didn't, so it's going to be a free pass for our goalie ring, for Harrington here. Bamber takes a bit of time, does find Sydney George in the neutral zone across to Herbert. Herbert's going to find Kilpatrick into the zone, and a good breakout there from Rush. So 10 seconds on the shot clock. So Kilpatrick's going to try and look for some help here, and is going to find Sydney George low with 3 seconds on that clock. Does get a reset there with a shot on net. So Macy Siren is going to take a bit of a skate, let Rush get a line change in. Going to leave it for Bluin. And now Siren is also going to take a line change, and Gunther's going to come on. So look for Bluin to leave it to the player coming in. Couldn't quite get it away. And a good pass across and a good shot from Daryanka and a good save by Kozin. And Daryanka coming back in with the spin move. As a former teammate of her mother's, I can say that is a learned behavior, that spin.
Absolutely.
And Albert breaking out of the zone finds Benson in the neutral zone. Benson is going to drop it, and almost a teammate-on-teammate collision there. But Benson is there to pick up the loose ring in the offensive zone. There's the first penalty to Ryan is almost over. There's 1:15 left in the half. Oh, a good shot, good save by Harrington. And just a little too much in the crease there as Burrows touches the ring.
I think both goalies have looked really solid this game, just keeping it simple, getting in front of the ring. They're both have pretty good size in the net, but moving well also.
Well, and they're both, I find, I don't want to say stationary, but they're both steady. They're both steady. They're not moving. They're not overcommitting. They're staying very calm and well positioned in their nets.
Yeah.
Down there. Sorry, folks. Chattleborough getting the ring in the neutral zone. Just setting up for our mid-game interview. We're not professionals at this commentary business. Saskatchewan through the neutral zone. It's Shane Hofen leaving it for Voikin. Voikin taking some time. There's 20 seconds left in the half. Shane. So with just almost 12 seconds left in this quarter, in the second quarter, in the second half, Saskatchewan is up 1-0. So again, Saskatchewan in the white and Rush in the gray. And it looks like Heat is keeping their goalie on the bench, so they're going to have a 4-on-3 in the offensive zone, but they don't have their fourth player in. And that's the end of the second quarter. So we're going into halftime here with a really tough game, a really even game. It's 1-0 for Saskatchewan on a beautiful goal. There's been a lot of penalties and a lot of penalty kills, so we've gotten to see a lot of situations. With the 3-on-2 offensively and a 3-on-2 defensively. So a good opportunity for some of our Ringette fans to get to see some of those situations. So play it, love it, live it at the Canadian Ringette Championships, March 29th to April 4th in Ottawa. So they were in Ottawa last year and they're in Ottawa again this year. Ringette Canada puts their bids out for 3 years at a time. So it's Ottawa last year, Ottawa this year, and then Halifax. And then coming up, there will be somewhere new to host nationals. I believe we are just setting up for our halftime interview. We're going to get a replay first. Seeing some good saves there by Harrington. All right, so we have Alexa Snowden is at ice level with Amy Bamber.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Hello.
How are you feeling about the game so far?
I feel like we are really in it. Like, our grit has been completely driving the whole entire game. We just need to push this second half to get a W out of this one.
Okay. Any specific things that you're looking to do in this second half?
I feel like we're not really at our level right now. I feel like we could push a little bit harder, especially with taking our shot selections and our support passes.
Excellent. Anything that you've looked to do to get ready for this hub as a team?
We did a lot of team practices. We've only had 3 games this season, so we've been practicing twice a week. Every single time we've been focusing on core stuff to get us ready for the hub.
Excellent. Well, you guys are looking great. Looking forward to seeing the second half.
Thank you so much.
All right, so heading into the halftime here, I think there's a lot to think about for these coaching staffs. There's been a lot of good play and tough play from both teams. The shots on goal are almost equal with 18-17 edge for Saskatchewan Heat, who does have a 1-0 lead going into halftime. And we're going to have a little quick commercial break coming up, and we'll be back after that.
They're just superhumans, and they come from a humble background.
Seeing my sisters make big teams, it made me realize even though we're from this little province, you can make your dreams come true if you work hard.
They just love the game so much.
8 seconds remaining. Snowden with a shot.
This past season, the two of them scored 97 and 96 points each. That's in 24 games.
My earliest memory of Ringette is my dad making an outdoor rink in the backyard.
Our older sisters did not go easy on us. There was no mercy in our family.
She knows what I'm capable of. I know what she's capable of.
So they've always been really close. Moncton sisters ready to take on Ringette World.
All right, in.
This is the game we came here to play, guys. They said that if she got another concussion, she'd never be able to play Ringette again. Oh, nice break.
I'm always scared that they're gonna get hurt.
When we first started the Atlantic Attack, we were at the bottom of the barrel. Now we can actually compete.
People sacrifice a lot for the sport.
I am just realizing now everything that they had to go through in order for us to just play a simple game. I love you!
It's always been about togetherness.
You said it once and you said it before, them Snowdens are not too bad Ringette players.
All very, very good players. All spend a lot of time at the rink. I know that these younger girls...
So we're going to be back in about 5 seconds here. I can start us off a little bit.
It's fun to watch them, and a very nice family.
All right, welcome back. We have about 9 minutes left before the second half is going to start, and you can see these coaching staffs are having a little debrief about how they think things went and maybe thinking about what's going to happen next. It's been a tight checking game. There have been a lot of penalties so far, so I'm guessing one of the conversations they'll have is about keeping their feet moving and making sure that they have good body position so that they are not taking those penalties as much, so that their team, it's really hard for players to get into a game when there's a lot of penalties, especially the forwards who end up sitting to kill some of that time. We're going to throw back now to a video about Ringette from 1979.
Ringette is a Canadian game designed exclusively for girls. Basically, it is played on ice with a ring and a bladeless stick. It was invented in Ontario in the mid-1960s and ever since has been soaring in popularity. Today, there are between 50 and 60,000 girls in Canada who play Ringette, and 350 of those gathered here in Winnipeg for the first ever Canadian Championships. 16-year-old Lisa Lowe has been playing Ringette for 9 years. She is a center for a team from Ajax, Ontario. Tell me how you got started in Ringette 9 years ago.
When I had to go undercover, I was supposed to say I was 8 years old, but I really wasn't, so that's how I started.
And Lisa finished this game with 1 goal and 1 assist. In the second period, Ontario outscored Manitoba 5-3 to win 8-6.
I hope it goes in the history books. I'll probably remember it for the rest of my life. I'll probably tell it to my grandchildren.
So I don't know, Alexis, had you ever seen that video before?
I've seen snippets, but I haven't seen the full thing. The outfits are something.
Yeah, they're not even wearing shin pads. That's one of the things that gets me, is I don't know how you can even operate. But the cages have changed, the equipment has changed, so much has changed about Ringette. So we're gonna go to one more commercial and then we'll be back. And you can see here we are back in Leduc from the Edmonton hub for the National Ringette League. We have a tight game here if you've been watching or if you're just tuning in. It is 1-0 for Saskatchewan over Edmonton Rush. The play has been very equal and even and a lot of tight checking. So these teams are going to be wanting to continue to get their feet moving. This is game 3 of the weekend for these. And our next featured hub is January 10th and 11th in Burlington, Ontario, hosted by the Cambridge Turbos. So there's 2 conferences in the National Ringette League, the Western and the Eastern, and each has 7 teams. So the teams do not play an interlocking schedule for the season, but they qualify for nationals. And we're going to have one more commercial break for you before we come back to the rink here in Leduc. Welcome back to the rink in Leduc in the Rec Centre. There's a lot going on here this weekend. This NRL hub is part of the Edmonton Wood Tournament, hosted by the Edmonton Ringette Club, and this is in fact its 40th year. And so there's lots going on around the rink. There's lots of teams in and out. You can see some of the highlights from the NRL hub. And these are all today's games. So there you saw the goal, that great finish.
It'll be interesting to see if Saskatchewan, if the Heat is able to stay out of the penalty box, a little bit more offensive zone time, just to see what their setup looks like, because we haven't seen them in the zone that much. They do have 18 shots, but not a lot of sustained zone time. So looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
Yeah, it is usually the forwards that end up missing shifts or getting fewer shifts when there's penalties. So it is tough to get a feel for the game and really get in a groove in a game when your ice time is limited.
That's why Bronwyn and I both played defense, because we wanted more ice time.
Yes, but it's not because I was the tall kid and put on defense when I was 7. We're going to see a video now, a little bit more about Ringette. All right, welcome back. We are almost ready. We're about 20 seconds away from the third quarter starting. Saskatchewan's back on the bench. The Zamboni is just finishing. And we're going to be back very shortly with the third quarter of what's been a really exciting game so far. This is the first time I've really gotten to watch Saskatchewan this weekend. They had one of their games was at one of the other rinks that's hosting, and so I wasn't able to watch that one because I was here in Leduc. But they had a close game against Calgary, and then they beat Rush last night. So it's exciting to watch them and see this team that I'm not all that familiar with. And thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching, the Feature Hub this weekend is available on All Women's Sports Network, on Pluto TV, on CBC Sports YouTube, and on Ringette Canada's YouTube. So we're really excited to be partnering with the AWSN for the first time, and excited to bring you what is, for Alexis and myself, a sport we love a lot and have given a lot to.
Yeah, Ringette is a game that has a way of burrowing its way into your soul, and that's why you see so many lifers around the rink.
Yeah, and one of the exciting things that's happening now is we're really starting to get into a big second generation of Ringette players that we're starting to see. And it's really awesome. Alexis has coached her daughter for many years. And we see several of these players. So there's at least one on Rush right now. 2 of them, actually. I'm not actually sure how much Ringette their coach, Ashley Genther, played. But Shelly Darienko on the bench there played in the early days of the National Ringette League. And her daughter, Katie, is playing now. And we've seen that on several other teams as well. So it's really nice to start to see that second generation.
We want to send a shout out, thank you to our feature hub host, the Edmonton Wham, for putting on this great event.
Yeah, part of their longstanding wood tournament. And we actually had the founders of the wood tournament in the building yesterday. All right, we are off in the third quarter. It's Albert over to Scar. Scar's going to look deep in the zone for Carter.
So Carter scored 4 goals in the matchup yesterday. So she's been quiet so far today, but it'll be interesting to see what she does this second half.
Yeah, with the fresh ice. So Carter is taking some time, trying to get some of that speed advantage, and a good quick shot on Harrington, a good low shot that did get the reset for Saskatchewan. So those are plays that those smart players make, and a big shot there that just hit the crossbar from Scar. Oh. And Burrows with a good fight against Carter to try and win that ring, and Kilpatrick has come up with it but can't move it. So it's going to be a ring for Saskatchewan.
They're going to keep that Heat line out. They were having some really nice movement, some good looks at the net, so maybe keeping that momentum going.
Yeah, so now we do have Schoenhofen out there with Carter and Scar. And Ryan is just out of the penalty box now, so we are at full strength. So you saw a nice pick play there by Schoenhofen on McTaggart, and Scar is able to drive through and get the ring in the net.
So this is a D getting it done with a little bit of speed and determination.
Yeah, that drive to the net, sometimes we don't actually know what to do with the playmaking. So when you're a defense in the offensive zone, you go to the net. And that's always a good play. So McTaggart starting with the ring. Over to Lieber. Lieber is going to look for Genther deep in the zone. But she's beaten to the ring by Stangel. Stangel finds Standish in the neutral zone. Looking for Belland in the far zone. I think McTaggart, the ring is stolen away by Riley Benson. And now we have Belland coming in, slowed down by Lieber, and a goalie ring. Harrington just gets it away in that 5 seconds to Derienka. Derienka up to Bluin. Bluin is able to get it up to Gunther. So a good quick breakout there. Rush has control in the offensive zone, 15 seconds on that shot clock. Gunther leaves it for Derienka, who takes advantage of a fallen Saskatchewan defender, but isn't able to capitalize. A good save there by Holly Kozan.
Yeah, and there's that low pick again, and then that's the movement that they want, taking their speed past that defense who's sort of temporarily immobilized.
Yeah, so good job by Derienka to see that opportunity open up and take it to the net. So Brooklyn Baumke with the pass, going to give it to Sydney George. Finds looking for a pass across to Seren, and it's blocked, but they pick up the ring. Seren coming around, drives around Ryan, looking for George on the low post, but George looked like she was set up for a pick. So we're going to have a pick here by Seren, but Baumke chooses to go around instead. The ring is picked up by Scar in the defensive zone for Saskatchewan, and Saskatchewan is going to come out. McCaw, coming into the zone there. And I think that was maybe a 4-in call against Rush. Either way, it is a Saskatchewan free pass in the offensive zone. We have a 2-0 game here. We're just starting the third quarter, and Saskatchewan is up 2-0 over Edmonton Rush. So Saskatchewan in the white jerseys, Rush in the gray. And it's Linklater over to Ryan, picked off by Kilpatrick, and Conrad is up with the ring, finding Kilpatrick, and to Chettleborough over the line into the offensive zone. Chettleborough with the centering pass, it's just a little too far ahead of Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick with the movement and tried for that back pass, but it's picked off by Stangel. Chettleborough briefly stole the ring and gets the ring back and is going to the net. And a good shot and a good save by Kozan. Sometimes those quick little shots are the trickiest. And Saskatchewan coming out of the zone. It's up to Carter, a good pass, good catch for that head-on pass. And into the offensive zone. The ring to Schoenhofen is checked by Forster, but Kilpatrick did knock her over, and we're going to get a 2-minute cross-checking penalty for Megan Kilpatrick.
Schoenhofen does a really good job of keeping her feet moving and trying to keep the play alive. And when you do that, you tend to draw calls because the defense has to keep engaging with you and they get tangled up.
And it's really hard to keep your feet moving and check. So if your feet are moving, you're going to draw penalties. And if your feet aren't moving, you're going to take penalties. Saskatchewan now with the player advantage that doesn't really show itself in the offensive zone. And a good defensive play there by Rush, but they did have a crease violation, so Saskatchewan gets a free pass.
Some of the stuff we're seeing from the Heat right now in their offensive attack is they're looking for some slip passes into the slot. They're also doing a lot of give and goes where they're passing it off and then cutting across the top and then looking for that ring back, which means the center has to make a lot of directional changes and can create some lanes to the net.
Yeah, anybody who's ever done conditioning skating knows that stops and starts are the hardest thing to do. So if you can force the defense to do it, it makes everything harder. Okay, Kayla Lieber into the offensive zone, and a good shot and a bad bounce off the Saskatchewan defender, and the ring is in the net. So Rush is on the board.
That's a tough one because everybody is doing their jobs. And it just ends up in the net.
Yeah, so a good shot by Lieber, a good ring pursuit. And Kozin is just trying to clear the ring out of the front of the net, and it goes in off the defender. So bit of bad luck, but that ring pursuit, getting a good shot with a rebound, pays off, and I think that goal is going to go to Lieber. So we've got a 2-1 game now. 1:10 left in the penalty to Kilpatrick. And we're into the offensive zone. It's Standish with the ring for Heat. Linklater with the ring, coming in between the players there, looking for that low pass. Gets it, but a little slow on the release, so Harrington was there. Baumke comes out with the ring, and a good support pass there to Amy Bamber. You can see the one-on-one marking right now as Rush is short. So Brooklyn Baumke is going to get the ring, trying to find Bluin, but Scar is there. Good checking, good pursuit by Bluin, who does get the ring off of Scar and keeps the ring moving. Seren now is going to take that ring. And they are going to try and kill a bit of time here while there's still 20 seconds left in that penalty to Kilpatrick. Seren with good movement. 14 on the shot clock. Drop pass that teammate wasn't quite there, but Scar does get checked from behind. And Saskatchewan there, Ryan with a good support pass across to Albert to get the ring out of traffic. And we have Standish with the ring in the offensive zone. That penalty is out now for Rush. Kilpatrick back to the bench. Saskatchewan waiting for their line change to come in. Ryan takes a good shot, but just misses, and there's 5 on the shot clock for Saskatchewan. Carter gets a shot in that I believe went off a defender, so there's no reset on that. So shot clock violation, and Harrington's got the ring.
There's a real art to taking these reset shots. Sometimes I think the offensive players want to have this great offensive opportunity, and sometimes it's a better tactic just to take it a little bit closer to the net, place the shot, and get a fresh 30.
Yeah, so we're getting a penalty here to Voikin, a hooking penalty, just a little too much digging in on the line there. So there's a penalty on the board now to Saskatchewan, and Chettleborough is going to take the ring, and she finds a hole off of the free pass just under the glove. I think there was a bit of a screen there. We're going to see if we can get a look at what Chettleborough saw off of that free pass, but a good low shot. Yeah, and you can see just moving out of the way there and opens that hole for Chettleborough to find the back of the net. We all of a sudden here have a tie game. It is 2-2. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Scar in the neutral zone. Lieber with a good step up. And Scar coming in again, and Lieber with a good back check to break up that cross crease pass.
Scar's having a great game. I'm noticing her in multiple areas of the ice, solid defensively, but hopping in the offensive zone and having some nice game impact.
Yeah, it's important for the D to know when to step in. So Schoenhofen over to Carter, and a good shot. That was a good set play with a little bit of a screen or a pick there in the neutral zone by Ryan. Up for Conrad, doesn't quite handle it. And Carter's got it again in the neutral zone. Carter's looking wide. Oh, and good disrupting that pass there by Lieber. Carter coming around, maybe looking to let loose a big shot. Derienka can't find it in her feet. Ryan does come up with it, misses the net on the shot, and Rush comes up with it. It's Belle Burrows. And Kilpatrick waits for it to come over the line, trying to fight for it in the neutral zone, looking for a support pass, but Saskatchewan is all over them. Kilpatrick does find Gunther in the zone. There's 10 seconds left on that shot clock, so that's a good job for checking by Saskatchewan to leave them with 10 seconds left only. 3 on that shot clock. Gunther needs to get the ring on net. Does, and it's a goalie ring. Stangel has the ring coming out from behind the net. Looking for a neutral zone pass, finds it to Schoenhofen. Schoenhofen's going to find Benson on a breakaway pass that just doesn't quite, can't quite finish. A good defensive play there from Burrows. Or Herbert, I apologize. So our player to watch with a good defensive play there. Gunther trying to win the ring in the neutral zone. Voikin has it. And it's going to be rush ring, center ice free pass.
When a team is playing that pure man-on forechecking and coverage system, you will sometimes see those breakaways where just if somebody loses half a step on a player and then all of a sudden it creates that lane. So I wonder if we'll see a little bit something different from the Heat in terms of trying to hit that player and having them cut straight back to try to gain that lane.
Yeah, it's a tough job for the defense when you're up against somebody who knows faster than you. It's not a good feeling. Forster into the offensive zone. Gets the ring over to Sydney George. Sydney George to Brooklyn Baumke.
And Brooklyn Baumke is here as an affiliate player. She plays on her regular team, Spruce Grove U19 AA. I think also Macy Seren.
So numbers 3 and 66 are both still playing under 19 Ringette and are here as affiliates to help rush out with some numbers in their game. And a good quick pass down low to Sydney George. That ring looked like it might have been in the crease, but no call. Again, you see where the referees are standing there on the other side of the net. So your best bet is to usually just play it like you don't think anything's there. So this is a call we're going to see that we can explain. So Katie Derienka has had the ring, took a hand off of her stick while she had the ring and used it to push or shield her body from the other player. And you cannot do that in Ringette. That is an interference penalty. So Katie Derienka is going to sit for 2 minutes or less.
Sometimes it's a matter of how hard are you pushing and how far is your arm away from your body. You can get away with a little. But sometimes it's just the extent.
Oh, and a great save there by Harrington. That was a great offensive play from Saskatchewan, but an even better save by Harrington. Harrington is a very good goaltender. Megan Kilpatrick coming out to McTaggart. McTaggart back over to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick looked like she might find a lane to the net, but is going to take the safe route instead. Unfortunately, loses a bit of an edge there. And Saskatchewan picks off the ring, and it's into the neutral zone for Ryan, who's got Linklater. Chooses to wait for another option. Is going to wait for Albert to come across the line. Albert's going to break in, go to the net. And the defense there do manage to slow her down. So it's going to be a goalie ring for Harrington.
So Caitlin Harrington is also actually a U19 age player. She could be playing third year U19 AA, but she decided to play in the NRL this year instead for a different opportunity. And so doing quite well.
Yeah, doing very well. So that was a bit of an unlucky play for Albert where the ring bounced off of her in the neutral zone and over the blue line into the defensive zone and has to play that ring. So you see Katie Derienka takes a handoff there and does use it to push the defender away. It was hard to see. I think the defenders or the Saskatchewan player's body was blocking a little bit, but sometimes even the appearance of it is enough if it looks like you're gaining an advantage. So we have Belle Burrows in the offensive zone, plays it back. Conrad just missed that ring, slipped a little bit, and Saskatchewan's got a fast break. It's Carter Carter got a little too excited, as we sometimes do. Thought about it too hard and missed that pass. And we have Voikin in a good shot on net, just off the post and into the corner. So that's a reset. And Bell Burrows trying to get the ring out, hit a teammate, but another good save from Harrington. And we have Nola Conrad, got the ring on the line, but it is picked off on a good play by Carter. Carter looking for an opening. Again, so a couple of bad bounces for these Heat players where the ring just is going in the wrong direction. Nola Conrad in the neutral zone is checked by Carter, but we're going to have a boarding penalty to Carter.
So I'm not sure how many minutes that is for Carter in the game so far. I haven't tracked it, but Saskatchewan Heat's penalty minutes are starting to get up there, so they need to keep an eye on that.
I can get that information for us. So that's 3 penalties for Carter, so she's at 6 minutes. Okay, Kilpatrick coming around, leaves the ring. Derienka is out of the box. We have Bluin here with the ring. There's 8 seconds on the shot clock, so Bluin's going to be looking to get the ring on net. Tries the centering pass to Kilpatrick, who needs to get the ring on net for a reset. Isn't able to manage it. So it looked like it bounced off the side of the net, but that is not a reset. It needs to hit the front of the net or the goalie. So that was a good no reset by the shot clock operator. We do have an expert shot clock operator today named Iris Todd. If you've been around Ringette, you've seen her. So that was McCaw in the neutral zone trying to find Benson, but it was picked off by Lieber in the corner there. And the ring is up for Kilpatrick again, who's coming in looking for a shot, and a good block by McCaw. Kilpatrick does get that rebound and gets it into Derienka, and that rocket shot 10 seconds, or misses the net, but 10 seconds on the shot clock. Derienka leaves it for Sydney George, who's going to look to just get it through, and does, and a good save by Kozin. Nice back pass there from Sydney George to Macy Seren, and a good shot that can't tell if it was a save or if it hit the crossbar, but it's a good reset. Bamber picks up the ring just outside the ringette line and is going to come in. Shoot across the body, but misses the net. Derienka picks it up in the corner.
These D are looking a little tired. I think they're looking for a change, but it's tough because Rush is having some really nice sustained attack on them.
A good shot there by Captain Amy Bamber, and a good save by Kozin. Albert with the ring up to Ryan. The game can change so quickly. Seren coming back as a forward defending. The ring comes out to Linklater, and again, we are going to get a too many players on the ice call against Rush. So just a bit of bad luck there, but coming off the bench, you make sure you have to make sure you don't play that ring. So we have 15 seconds here in the third quarter. We have a tie game, and we have too many players on the ice penalty being served by Brooklyn Baumke. Forster comes up with the ring, 6 seconds left in the quarter. Neutral zone to Kilpatrick, to Chettleborough, and can't quite get the shot away in time. So we are coming to the end of the third quarter. It is 2-2 between Rush and Heat.
All right, represent your favorite team. Shop the National Ringette League store at ringette.ca. Christmas is coming, so it's something that I think many Ringette players would be excited to open under the tree or in their stocking.
Rush penalty to number 66, Brooklyn Baumke, 2 minutes for illegal substitution. Time of the penalty, 15 seconds.
That's that beautiful goal from Scar, taking it hard to the net, using some nice deception to gain the lanes and then just popping it in on the low post.
And again, some really good saves from both Kozin and Harrington. And that unlucky bounce. Good ring pursuit by Rush, but a bit unlucky there. And a seeing eye shot from Chettleborough that goes in. And we are ready for the fourth quarter. So in the National Ringette League, in the regular season play, which is what this is, there's no overtime. If this game was tied at the end of regulation, it would go straight to a shootout. When they go to nationals for their the National Ringette League Championship, if it's still tied, there would be an overtime. There just isn't enough ice in these hub weekends. We're limited.
So Rush is going to be pushing hard, looking for their first win of the NRL season, and you can tell they're close. They're getting close.
Voikin over the line, driving hard to the net. A good, quick backhand shot. And this is going to be, I think, a charging penalty to Saskatchewan. It was hard to tell for a second who was going to be getting that penalty. Oh, a body penalty to Saskatchewan.
So you can see Voikin just comes in with all kinds of speed, takes it to the net, but I think in pursuit of that next ring, I guess just came in a little hot. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one because it does look like they're both going for the ring, but Voikin has a 2-minute penalty. We are playing 4-on-4 for a minute 13 as Rush still has a player in the box for that illegal substitution.
Key penalty to number 9, Jordy Voikin, 2 minutes for body contact on 12.
Bluin coming in with a shot that just misses high, and Albert picks up the ring, fires it into the neutral zone. Carter picks it up. Carter's going to look for Scar on the outside, and again, we already saw Scar with a good goal earlier. Tries to center it for Ryan, but it's picked off, and Derienka has it. And now we've got Bluin in the neutral zone. Going to find, looking for that breakaway pass for Herbert. Herbert does have a lot of speed, and a good pickup by Herbert breaking into the offensive zone.
Herbert is a lot of fun to watch. She plays without fear, and she really just goes for it, which I think is an amazing quality, especially when you're in your first year of the NRL. It's a great way to play.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it gives you little mini heart attacks. It's like watching Michelle Lemieux play sometimes. And a good play there. So there was a crease violation for Saskatchewan, so that's why there's a ring here. Again, a lot of whistles in Ringette are for players being in places they're not allowed to be. And we have Belle Burrows here with the ring coming around the net. Going to leave it for Hadley Gunther. Gunther whips a shot that just misses. And Burrows picks up the ring along the boards. Again, we're playing 4-on-4, so we have a couple of defense who's playing in the offensive zone right now. Burrows gets it back to Kilpatrick, who does get the shot on net, and the penalty is out for Rush, so Rush does have a player advantage at the moment. Kilpatrick up, and a good play to move the ring quickly from Belland up to Shane Ofen.
Well, and even though Saskatchewan is shorthanded, it's actually when you see a lot of breakaways is when a team is shorthanded, and it's because the D are more inclined to activate because they need to, and the other team is more inclined to mark really tight because they want to make sure they're turning over possession. So it just sometimes can create those openings.
Yeah, and that led to another fast break there where Seren had a really good look, and Cozen had a really great save. McTaggart with good strength on the ring there, keeps feet moving, does get the pass across the line to Seren. Back to McTaggart along the boards. They've got 20 seconds on the shot clock here. McTaggart's going to take some time. The penalty is done for Saskatchewan as well, so we are back to 5-on-5. And Gunther with a great spin move in front of the net, and Cozen couldn't find it, but luckily it just skipped wide. So Saskatchewan up there. Linklater got a touch on it, but did again touch it on the other side, so it is a blue line violation.
Saw Saskatchewan sneak behind them yet again. They just couldn't quite connect in the neutral zone to be able to hit her, but they do seem to be looking for that that streaker.
And Captain Amy Bamber there telling Derienka where to stand, and of course Herbert finds the pass right there immediately. Derienka in front there was tied up, tried to get the ring over to Sydney George, but it was interrupted and there was a crease violation, so it's Cozen with the ring for Saskatchewan. Benson in the defensive zone is pushed into the crease with some good forechecking there from Daryanka, and so it causes a crease violation. So Baumke's going to start with the ring out there with Conrad and Chettleborough. And a good pass from behind the net.
Really nice finish from Baumke. She has a great shot. She has a great release.
She has a great shot. She's been a strong player, so we're going to see that good back pass from behind the net from Conrad out to Baumke. And just takes that one step to get the goalie moving and then shoots back across her body and gets sort of midway up the net there. It wasn't top corner, but it was just between the pad and the glove, which is a really tough spot for a goaltender to find the ring. Carter coming in, back up to Carter, and a good, it's the knob of that stick for Harrington. Not sure if that would have gone in, but gets a stick on it nonetheless. And Harrington had to be sharp there on that little deflection there. So the 5-second count for the goalie starts as soon as the ring is in the crease. So sometimes it seems like they haven't had it in their hand for very long, but it's been in the crease already, so they have just 5 seconds total once it enters to get rid of the ring. It is 3-2 for Rush, who just scored to go ahead after being down 2-0 earlier in the game.
Nice blocker save by Harrington there. She just covers so much of the net. And very positional.
Yep, very conserves energy. Not a lot of extra movement. You see some goalies who are, really all over the place. Still making a lot of good saves, but both Harrington and Kozin are very, I think, steady in the net there. Carter with a play there, and you saw her take a handoff, but there wasn't really much contact or advantage gained, which is probably why there wasn't a penalty called. Oh. And a good shot through Ryan trying to get it through, but hit her own player. Harrington with another good save. Going to find that breakout pass to Forster, who had a really good step and a block earlier that didn't quite get to. Forster finds Kilpatrick up to Bluin. Saskatchewan up through the neutral zone. We've got Ryan with the ring finding Schoenhofen.
Oh, 4 in.
Yeah, this will be a delayed 5 count, not a penalty. That forward coming back tried to stop on the line and just couldn't quite do it. Saskatchewan with the ring, coming around, looking to find that advantage to get that tying goal here. Harrington up to Daryanka. Daryanka's going to look for that big lead pass, and George does a great job picking it up. George still has the ring, leaves it for McTaggart. McTaggart being checked there, but does a good job getting the ring into the offensive zone for Daryanka. 8 on the shot clock. And George looking for the low post pass. It's blocked. Daryanka had a good shot, and the Rush is going to come away with the ring. And a good save by Kozin. Daryanka really does have a strong shot, likes to try and hit those top corners. So
she's probably taken 10 shots today at least. So she doesn't hesitate to shoot.
She's hit the net with most of them too, and a lot of times when those players like to shoot high, they tend to miss the net a lot, and she's done a really good job. Addison Herbert coming into the offensive zone, gets a shot on net at Kozin handles. And here we have Stangel coming out of the defensive zone, watched by Baumke into the neutral zone. Schoenhofen bobbles it a little bit, but is able to keep it. Drops to Albert.
Something I really like about Schoenhofen's play is her ring management is excellent. She very rarely gives the ring away, and really great composure with the ring.
And a good play there by Baumke to have some patience. And we've got a breakaway pass now to Chettleborough, who makes a good move, and a really good save there by Kozin. Holly Kozin has really been strong today, and Rush has had some good opportunities. So Nola Conrad with the ring, puts it across. Albert picks up the ring, and a good support pass. There's been lots of really great support plays made as well. That pass for Linklater was just behind her and picked off by Belle Burrows. Becca Chettleborough is going to slow it down, give it to Kilpatrick. They've got a pretty fresh clock in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see a little bit of fatigue creep into Heat's game. I don't know if it's a momentum thing or if it's the penalties, but they're starting to look a little tired.
Looking for that reset. Kilpatrick can't quite do it. So it's going to be a goalie ring. You can see, I think those Saskatchewan players are looking to get off the ice. So a good pass to the forward on the line. That pass up for Voikin. Voikin wasn't able to stab it, but she was able to push it forward into the offensive zone. So that's Ryan with the ring. Madison Ryan leaves it.
So there's 5 minutes left. It'll be interesting to see when Heat decides to start to pull their goalie and in what way, because there are a couple different ways that you can do it. So we'll just keep an eye on the net there.
Okay. And Rush trying to break out. That was Burrows with a pass deep into the zone to Bluin. And a good, strong defensive play by Jordy Voikin to win that ring back. And it's Voikin with the ring again. Doesn't like the view up there, so is going to look again. And just too far for Schoenhofen, so that is a 2 blue line pass, which means that the team can't play it. So Derienka has the ring and is going to find Gunther in the neutral zone. Gunther's going to leave it for Forster, who was pressured. There's a player right there, and it's always harder to get the ring when somebody's nearby. McRae picked it up and is into Schoenhofen in the offensive zone. That pass to Scar was just behind her, so she's going to cycle back and take some time. Looking for Schoenhofen in front, and a great finish. Oh, I apologize. That was McRae in front of the net. Good quick hands.
Beautiful play. This is an interesting slip pass. It's coming almost vertically, so it's actually really hard for the D to know whose job it is to take that person in the middle. So a really nice vertical slip pass, and then excellent finish from McRae.
Absolutely, and you could see Belle Burrows had another player on the far post, so she's got to make a decision to see which player is more dangerous, and that's a good play and really quick hands in front by Jetta McRae. And we've got 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we have a tie game again. It is 3-3. Saskatchewan in white and Edmonton Rush in gray. And a pass from Schoenhofen up to Ryan and back to Schoenhofen. Now Ryan has it, and a quick goal. That was a great, that low walk and that far side shot.
Yeah, well done by Ryan here to take the space that's given to her. I think sometimes there's this tendency to just want to go for the one-timer every time, but when you have that lane to create a better shooting angle, that's what happens.
Yeah, and the defense for Rush was pushing out pretty far, trying to take the pass away, but unfortunately once the pass gets through, you're in a little bit of trouble there, and Saskatchewan capitalized. So Voikin with the ring. Support pass, Stangel has it now. So I think you can expect to see Rush being even more aggressive now that they need the ring. So Belland watching the ring, but Herbert picks it up.
So before I was saying keep an eye on the Saskatchewan net for a goalie pull, and now I think we'll keep an eye on the Rush net for the same thing.
And a great give and go there between Herbert and George. And Seren has it now in the offensive zone, waiting for a line change. He's going to leave it for Kilpatrick with 8 seconds on that shot clock. Kilpatrick with a spin move, and Seren's going to get a shot on net. Gets the reset. That's a really good play for a reset, and Kilpatrick is able to pick it up. And Conrad with sort of a similar looking play here, but there is a crease violation, so it's going to be a goalie ring. And again, you see Cozen coming out of the net to make sure to buy time for her team before the whistle goes. Voikin up through the neutral zone to Scar. Or Standish. Standish in the neutral zone. And they're all fighting for it. Ryan had it. And a lot of, this is looking like some fatigue here for both teams. Ryan back to pick up the ring. Trying to find that pass in the neutral zone, and it's a 2-line pass. And Forster does touch it. So it is now playable, and Linklater comes away with it to Ryan. Standish in front of the net. Voikin coming in, and a good check by the defense there. And a bit of a misplay across the top for Saskatchewan, and it's picked up by Rush. And it's Daryanka up to Bluin. Bluin trying to make a quick pass, but the ice is getting slow here. And Bluin is getting a penalty there, just got the stick in too close. So we're going to get a tripping call against Bluin with 1:44 to go, and Rush down by a goal.
So we'll see if what they do off of the offensive free pass here, if Rush decides to mark up to try to, force either a shot, something for a change of possession to try to get the ring back and down into the other zone for a scoring opportunity.
And we do have a timeout now, probably called by Rush. I didn't see the motion, but could be by either team. When you're up a goal or down a goal and there's 1:44 left, you're going to want to have a solid game plan.
Rush penalty to number 22, Stephanie Bluin, 2 minutes for tripping at 1:44. Timeout, Edmonton Rush.
So I'm sure the messaging here again with the penalty, Rush is down a player, but if they do get control in the offensive zone, they can still pull their goalie and put 4 in the offensive zone to have that 4-on-3. So I would probably expect them to do that at some point.
And if I was Saskatchewan, I'd probably have one defense marking their forward tight and the other defense just hanging back to make sure that they're not dealing with
any. You saw Rush was marking up off of that free pass, trying to disrupt the center or that offensive zone free pass. And Rush is trying to go 2-on here in the defensive zone because they need the ring. And Saskatchewan is going to play some keep away here. So in the good old days, the bad old days, whatever you want to call it, before there was a shot clock, you could just kill as much time as you wanted by that continual passing. And now you have to make sure you get a shot on or you're going to lose the ring because of the shot clock. Gunther trying to win their ring in the neutral zone. Picked up by Scar. Scar gets it into Carter. A look up at the clock. There's a minute left. Carter still with the ring. 17 on the shot clock for Saskatchewan. And is going to bring it all the way back into the neutral zone for Scar. Scar is going to look for that into the zone, and it's picked up by McTaggart. McTaggart looking on the boards for Gunther. Gunther gets it, but is up against what you might call 2 boards, with the blue line being a zone she can't cross into. So a tough spot to try and receive a pass for anyone is just along the boards at the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a 4-3 game right now. Saskatchewan is up 4-3 against Edmonton Rush with 38 seconds left. Voikin and back to Voikin.
She's just going to take her time in the neutral zone here until Rush comes over to pressure.
And Scar gets it. And a nice little turn pass there to get it into Benson. Benson up to Ryan. Back to Benson. Shane Hofen is there for support. You can see they're not even trying to get to the net. They are just trying to kill this clock. 10 seconds left, and they did get the reset. So that they just have to kill the next 5 seconds and not let Rush. So what a good showing for them in terms of a good showing.
Yeah, it was a really good game between these two teams. Hard-fought battle, and I think it'll be fun to watch Rush throughout the season and continue to get to know one another. A lot of these players have not played together before, and there's a lot of young players on this team, so just sort of getting used to the NRL style of play and pace, and they're doing a good job. Well done by Heat to bring down the penalties and regain control of the game. So Heat's got one more game today. They'll have to take some rest. And this last game, or this last goal of the game, Madison, or no, that was the first goal of the game on the 3-on-2. From the high to low pass, sort of freezes the goalie at the top, and really nice finish from Ryan. Ryan had 2 goals today. This is this next goal by Scar, driving into the net. All right, this is this sort of unlucky bounce. Feel for the D here because she's done her job. She's posted up, ready to box out, and it just sort of bounces off of her. Okay, so we finished the game with a 4-3 score. Very tight game, exciting, and ready for the next games today.
All right, and down at ice level, I'm here with Jordy Voikin from Saskatchewan Heat. That's got to feel good coming up 2-0 and then down 3-2. How does it feel to come out with the win?
Feels great. We battled really hard. Our team has a lot of fight, so I think we showed that today.
Absolutely. You have a tough schedule this weekend. You still have one more game. The only team playing 4 games this weekend. How do you approach that?
I think it's really good practice for nationals, so we're lucky to have that practice through the year, and yeah, it'll be good conditioning for us.
What's been one of your team's biggest goals coming into this weekend?
I think just control and playing our game, so we really worked hard at just keeping possession, making good passes.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the big win, and rest up, fuel up for later.
Thanks.
Final score, Heat 4-3 for the Rush. I think Rush is still looking for their first win on the season, but you can see they're getting a little bit closer each time.
I know.
Okay. Great tenacity from Heat, and they'll be getting ready for their next game, I'm sure.